All right. Oh, I need to put my background up. I didn't even think about that. Let me put this in the background so that we'll at least have some chatting. Make sure we have that going. And then let me pull all this up. Yep. Okay. Got a lot of stuff going on. But we are mostly just co-working today, so I'm doing some other stuff in some other windows, but as that's going, I'm also going to be writing some stuff up. So anybody that wants to hang out, you're welcome to. And if anybody wants to know about our Discord, we do have a lot of good stuff going on down in Discord. That's over here. That'll show you all kinds of good stuff going on. Lots of events today. We got security engineering study group. I've got Linux practice interviews tomorrow. Later tonight. I don't know what's going on with my brain. It's too early in the morning still. Bash study group tomorrow. Linux sysadmin course. Just all kinds of things going on. Like tomorrow night, my wife's out of town, so I'm just gonna be on all night, and we're gonna do the getting into streaming. I'm actually building some more stuff right now in StreamerBot that I think might be kind of fun. In fact, I don't know if anybody's around that wants to help me out, but if any of you guys do an answer right now, you do an exclamation mark answer, and then you take that and then you type anything after it. I don't care what it is after it. I'm kind of interested in seeing the process work here that I've built so far. Because what'll happen is it'll pass through the streamer bot here, and it'll write out to that file. And then when that's done, we're gonna actually get it over here in Promtail. So we're gonna have a message of all the times that anybody's ever given an answer. And then what I'm gonna do is I have a process that I run with IO Notify. If you guys have never seen that. And what it'll do is we'll keep track of everybody that ever answers a question. Like when we do Socratic answers, we'll have a little list over here of all the answers. And then it'll also execute it on the Linux box so you can see the answer. You can see what it did. And you might say, well, Scott, what if somebody reboots the box? That's fine. Somebody reboots it, somebody does something weird to it, that's fine. I've got a whole bunch of servers. And then we're going to go against a list of them. So I'm going to show you guys how that works when I get to that part too. But yeah, I'm still building the integration out. I have it all mapped if we want to draw it. I actually wanted to, I thought about just going here, right on this, and then I'll probably just draw it down here. And then, we can just keep adding to this as we go. So here's like kind of like our physical drawing of the things that are logically flowing. And this will be, if we wanted to, this could be the streamer process. Answer, interaction. Right, so like, back this out a little bit. If I had one complaint about Excalidraw, it would be that thing popping up in the left. Probably the most annoying thing that they do. So, streamer answer interaction process. That's good. All right. So let me dig in here, and we'll get down in here and draw this as we go. And I'll show you guys. I mean, I've got a lot of it already done, but I'm going to draw it out and show it to you guys as we kind of go. Nobody? All right. Well, I'll do it myself. It's probably too early in the stream for me to ask it. This one no longer needs failed. Answer. Let's say the answer is df-h, right? And then over here, what I would expect is for that to come in. There should be an action queue. We should see that. Maybe I don't have those on. They should be on. We'll persist user counter just for fun. Persist user counter just for fun. They should go into the right actions, core commands. They should go into the action queue. Stream answers, yep. All right. Stream answers. Oh, wrong queue. Wrong queue. All right. Stream answers. Action queue. All right, we're gonna do one more try here, and we'll say answer df-h. Let's say that's what somebody gave. That should come through. On the YouTube side, you don't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing a command. We should have seen that trigger. So here's one completed. Action history. df plus h. Answer. Raw input escaped. Command user. So I've got username. I see that. Okay, so I see all that coming through. No pending action. The action over here was it should have written to stream answers and it should have given raw input. So why didn't it not write out? Path, stream write, file, stream answers. Hostbox is valid. That's valid. The action queue and triggers are valid. Okay. Let's watch. Let's just trigger one from, here's from Twitch. And here's from YouTube. No, nothing. All right. I got something wrong then still. Answer. That should work. Answer. That should work. How's it going, Hayes? Code Reader. Code Reader said you're new Linux admin. Do you have any questions that I could ask my mentor? Now, when you say Linux, are you talking about Linux, or are you saying like, is that like short for Lenovo or something? I don't Code Reader. I don't know what that is. I don't know what LENNOX is. I can't probably help with that any. That's not what I do. Action history. All right, so those completed, and I can see that it did the things that it should. So somewhere in the actions here, I've got a problem. So those are triggering. Yes. My options always run. That's fine. Stream answers. It's enabled. Okay. It can append to the file. Sure. Oh, is it trying to just only make the file? That's weird. All right, let's see. Let's try it again. Drop over into my chat. Answer. Let's try df-h just for fun. Nope. Nothing's coming through still. I just want to see. Echo help. Okay, that came through, right? Raw input escape. You know what? Hold on. I think I know what it is. So what I'm trying to write out to the file is raw input. So it would be just this part, and then stream write, stream answers. Make sure I didn't spell anything wrong there. Yeah, that should all be right. I should also be able to do username. What was our? These are all our variables over here. Cancel. These are all our variables over here. Yeah, we could do username. But even then, why is this not, even with that, this should still, right. So this one writes and writes. Oh, stream underscore right. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. And then the stream answers. Hey, Miss Sapphire, how's it going? We're just messing around a little bit. Yeah, the action cue should show your attempt. So there it is, right? It shows you doing the thing. But I'm not getting the right to happen against nothing's going in there. Now, the Ask Llama stuff, this never had any problem. Oh, hold on. I know exactly what it is. I just made this chmod. Let's go with yeah, let's change owner. Change owner, Samba data. So Samba data and Samba data are the owners of stream answers. That's what the problem is. And then they should have 7.5. We go 750 on stream answers. That's fine. That'll work. All right. Now we'll have now it'll come through. That was my bad. So I'm gonna do it over on the YouTube side, and it'll be answer df-h, and now that should write all the way through. There you go. Het Tanis df-h. Good. All right. So now, Miss Sapphire, if you were to do that again, it should pop up, and that will be answers. Those will be in the stream answers file forever. But hold on, that's also getting tailed over here. So now when I refresh this page, stream answers should have wait, did I restart Promtail? I did not restart Promtail. So now there's that. There's your df-h. See that? And any of you on either side should be able to do that, YouTube or Twitch. That's going to start popping up in here. If we do one more. There it is, stream answers. All right. So now stream answers has our different things. And let's go ahead and set this to be every, 10 seconds is fine, I guess. Now we're going to see those pop up as people give answers, right? So now, since we have that, I don't know why Miss Sapphires isn't in there. Oh, probably because, would you do one more? It'll come up over here now. So here will be our stream answers, right? People doing so every 10 seconds we'll see it over here. Now this one we'll see in real time. This one will be a little bit of a delay over here. So we'll have a record of people throwing answers in when I ask questions, right? And those answers will be coming through here. Yep, there's Miss Sapphire. Actually, interestingly enough, let's see, you just did that one again. So, okay, yeah. There it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change the way that we're looking at stream answers. So it's going to go like this. We got to go modify something else real quick. So I'm going to leave hostbox up. And I'm going to head over here, exit out of streamers. I'm going to cd to var chroot bin, and in our bastion. So we're going to vir bastion.sh, and we're going to go modify something. We're going to make this Rocky 1 through. We're going to give people Rocky 1 through. Let's not take too many of them. We'll give them 1 through 15. So this will be Rocky 1 through 15. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to delete off 16. So we're not going to give people 16, 17, 18, or 19 anymore, right? We're going to take that away. So now when users log in, they only have the bastions of 1 to 15, right? So, okay, so 1 to 15, good, good, good. I'm doing that because now over on the node where I'm going to call this, I'm not going to call this bastion fix anymore. We're going to call this stream interaction, right? So this is my stream interaction tab just so I can find it. So now any of you guys can keep doing answers, right? In fact, answers is only limited by, so you're either from Twitch or from YouTube. And actually, I think I'm going to add that in on the, when we write, I think I can have, let's go look at what our variables are. Because I think I can have the variable. Command source was from Twitch, or the one time that I did it, the command source was from, where the heck was it? So there's Miss Sapphire over there again. Nice. Okay. Command trigger. True. Are those all Twitch? I'm gonna do another one on YouTube. So hold on. Another one on YouTube. Answer df-h. Right. So over there, that tail-f will show here. And then see, it's Miss Me Peeve test. Yep, there's your test, guys. All your stuff's going right there. But I want to see right here, did it come through as from YouTube? Awesome. So now watch, I'm going to modify this again. We're going to say, as we write it out, we need command source. So right here, come on, man. How many times? Oh, apparently I opened way more than I thought I did. All right, actions here. When we write to the file, we're going to do username, command source, and then that. So, if you guys don't mind trying again, now we should see both where you came from, and you should see, and we should see, so we should see where you came from, your username, and then where we came from. Yep. And then also the command, the answer that you gave me, right? So you guys give me some type of answer of, whatever, and then it'll show up. Now, this may seem like kind of a simple thing that I'm doing, but the reason, so it's, yep, Miss Sapphire, Twitch, Echo, Meowdy. Good. The reason this is useful is one of the things I want to do here with the stream in general is have the ability for you guys to come in and answer questions and do stuff like that, have a record of it. But also, we're going to just execute these things against Linux boxes and see. We'll do one of those things I always say about one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions, right? So we're going to test. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start stripping these out of the files. And so see, that's cool that here in a second, we're going to see it over here. Where's it at? It'll take a second, but it's coming. I'm interested. So Promtail, I don't know if Promtail has a default scrape time, but it looks like it's about 10 seconds right now. So that's a little slower than I would want in like an interactive real time. But give it a second here. Then what I want to do with this eventually is, even if I'm just running something and doing like Socratic questions, and you guys can sit around and answer things, and you can, one, answer them and test, and then two, you can we'll make it so that it actually goes and tries the things. But then if somebody has a question that's like outside of like normal what they can do right here inside of Linux, then they can also ask for it to be dropped into Discord. So maybe I'll figure out a way to, like ask Discord or something, and then that will go, and that will send the trigger all the way over through. So we'll find something out. We'll figure it out a little bit. All right. I'm wondering why that one's not coming through, because this one definitely went to stream answers, and this over here should definitely have written it out. So I don't know why this one didn't come through. Okay. Oh, is it because there's not like a new line on the end? That seems really weird. It's like, does Promtail require you to have like a... Hold on, let's try something. Like, does it only read it after I've put a new line character? That would be a super weird behavior. That's a really weird behavior. So because it didn't come in with a new line character on the end, it doesn't read it until the next one comes in. I don't like that. I don't think that's the way that Promtail is supposed to work. But because that had been sitting in there for like a minute, and then when I put a new line character manually on it, it took it. I don't know if I like that. I didn't know that was a behavior of Promtail. Like, it waits until the next line happens, and then it does the thing. I don't. But that's interesting. I do like now that we have the answer of that. But now over here, watch this. We're gonna start doing something a little different. I've got these scripts, and the old one, the Llama Watcher, used to just watch the Llama file when we wrote into Llama, and then it would go and it would throw the prompt into our local Llama, and then it would give us an answer out, right? Well, we don't want that. We're gonna do Stream Answers Watcher, and now here's my stream answers. So as you guys give answers here, we're gonna use iNotify_wait, which is a cool little command that'll tell me if you've created, modified, or deleted a file. Now I'm using watch file. I can use whole directories. I can do all kinds of stuff. And then while read event, we're gonna do something. We're gonna echo the event. We actually don't need to necessarily do that. We're gonna actually do it like this. We're gonna get the command. So we're gonna tail. Okay, hold on. So tail dash n1 watch file. And you might say, Scott, why are you doing it like that? Well, because then if we do it like this, we can see or show the entry. Right, tail dash one and watch file. That's gonna be, let's just call it entry for now. Right, so that'll be our entry variable. And then just for fun, we can echo entry, right? And then we're gonna have to strip it out and execute the command here in a little second. Yeah, iNotify_wait and I watch. They're really useful. So let's watch this. So I'm gonna set this, and I'm gonna just run it right now. So Stream Answers Watcher. And what happened here? I busted something. iNotify_wait a while redo. Did I strip off my done? I think I stripped off my done. Okay, so watches are established. So if anybody would like to write another one on either Twitch or YouTube side, we should be able to see it come. Well, I'm hoping we can see it come all the way through, and this will trigger the watch here, and then we will see the thing happen. There it is. Yeah, uname. You see that? Miss Sapphire Twitch uname. So now, if I have that, right? If I have that, I can, I should be able to, I always know the fields, 1, 2, and then all the rest. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. It'll be 3 to NF will be the actual fields of, NF is number of fields, so 3 to the end of the line, basically. And I might have to figure out some logic for that. But as far as this goes, if it were simply like this, I wonder if I can do... Let's play with something in here, because I don't know if I can do this. But can I do colon? Can I do this? I want to see this work if possible. Let Let me try. I'm gonna try it on the other side. Answer, test, test, test. So over on the other side, I did this over on YouTube. I did test, test, test. I want to see. So you see, guys, how I dropped colons in there now? The colons are going to make this a million times easier for me. And then, yeah, and then Promtail, again, is not getting... So it's funny. Promtail is always going to be like one thing behind. Yeah. So now we're gonna do this. So watch this. So, I also need something else. I need to go find a command I don't remember how to do, which is... I did this just recently somewhere. Hold on. Random. So if we're going to use random in bash, right? It'll generate a number, and then we can do modulus like this. All right. So then that'll be fine for us. Like if we want to do 100, but we don't want to do 100. We want to do 15 through 19, right? So we're going to do 4, and then we're going to start at 15. So, all right. So we're going to go echo entry, and then executing the command. So we got to select a server, and the server we're going to select a server to use. Oh, and then I might have to actually add. I might have to add a key to this server as well. But we'll go with that here in a second. So let's run this. Echo urandom, and then random will be on 4. Ah, shit. There we go. 4, and then we'll start at plus 15. All right, and then we'll say num will equal that. Yep, and then we'll go ping -c1 Rocky num. You know what? Before we do that, hold on. This is going to be part of the execution of the command, anyways. But let's just echo $, num to the screen real quick, just for fun, and then we'll worry about this part here in a second, because this is going to be truly. That's going to be that. All right, and I'll show you guys how that's going to work, because that's going to be, I don't think that's ultimately that clever, but I think it's going to be fine for what I want. All right, so can we try? Hey, Chris Titus Tech, how's it going? Thanks for the raid the other day, by the way. Yeah, we're just, by the way, we're co-working right now, so I'm actually working in another screen, doing my actual job, my normal work. And then I'm just kind of over here on the other screen building out a tool in Loki. Well, it's there's a few components to it, but let me show you guys what we're working on. So if somebody would do an ! answer and any type of command that you would want for Linux. So if I was asking you guys, what is a way to show the uptime in a box, right? On either YouTube or Twitch, you guys should be able to do ! answer, you know, uptime or something like that. And what we'll see is we'll see it pass through all the way here over to our Loki box, and then also if I run the, if I pass through it here, I'll see there is Miss Sapphire doing the Twitch LS right there. Oh, thanks for the raid again, Chris Titus Tech. I appreciate it. We are just over here building stuff in, we're doing Linux and making Linux kind of do things for us. I'm co-working in another stream and just kind of hanging out, you know, while I'm doing my normal day job on a Friday. But over here, what we're doing is we're building out this little thing where if any of you guys were to, and any of you can do this, like I have it pretty well set up, you can do ! answer and give me any Linux command right now, and it will pop up.
For money.
Oh shoot, I need to fix, hold on, sorry. I need to fix my studio mode. If you guys do the ask, it'll pop up like that. I can answer that for money. I was we were messing around with that yesterday, so that's it just pops up for a few seconds when you guys when you guys ask me any kind of question or whatever. I forgot about that. I forgot about that specific one because I've been focusing on this. So yeah, so Vlad did Twitch and Vim. So now over here on our Loki, which is keeping track, it'll pop up with this. The problem I'm having with Loki is not writing. There it is. There's Vlad right there. Right, and then to bread, you've got that greeter settings. Yep. So now my problem, and I've used Promtail for a long time, but Promtail seems to not be triggering on the last log entry until the next one is written, and I don't remember that being a behavior of it. But this will be an interesting one. So now what we're doing here, I'm going to stop watching that, but you guys can keep doing answers if you want and put it over there. And what we were doing is I'm using my stream answers watcher file, which is just going to go watch that with iNotify wait, right? And then it's just going to be able to drop out to the screen what we're doing. So I'm going to run this stream watchers. So now if any of you guys write if anybody tries another answer command, then what'll happen now, yeah, so now that's going to pop up. You see that? As it popped up, and then it gave me a number 15. So I need that number 15 because what's going to happen is these are going to then be input on some Linux boxes. So let's go write that part real quick. This should be pretty straightforward. So now we've got a generic number, and now we want to execute the command. So we're going to ping. Okay, real quick, I got to go to like just a real quick thing for everybody. For if anybody's newer, you guys that haven't been around, I have a whole bunch of servers, Rocky servers, and I have a bunch of Hammer servers. They are werewolf nodes, which means that they are virtual machines that come up and don't know who they are until they get built, right? So, see, here's your answer still coming in over here. Now this is going to go and it's going to ping and it's going to generate a number between it should generate a number between 15 and 19. And we're going to ping that server once, and then we're going to say ampersand, ampersand, which is kind of like a poor man's if-then test. If you guys aren't, or if you don't play around with Linux much, know that I could say if test this, or I can do if square brackets this, but that's kind of, in this I want it quick and dirty. And then I'm going to say SSH to, so this will be Rocky, $num. And then we're going to send over the command, and we'll say timeout. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I need to, because it's the whole entry. My entry is actually going to be awk f colon $NF for now. That's how we'll do that. That'll give us an entry, and then timeout 3 $entry. That should be good enough for government work. All right, I'm curious to see if I run this now, the next answer that somebody gives. So let's say, Miss Sapphire, if you try your, well, shoot, this might break with, we'll see. I wonder if that will work. Because there's obviously some special characters that I'm going to have to remove when we do this. But if anybody wants to try any kind of answer again, it's going to try to execute it on a Linux box right now. Well, it's going to make sure it's there. And then looks like it's going to bust. Oh, okay. Let's see what it tried to do. Ping Rocky 15. Oh, hold on. Okay, guys. Well, there's that. Let's go out of there real quick, and let's just cat out our Etsy. We can make this bigger while we're working on it. I don't need that other thing while we're here. So let's cat Etsy hosts. I keep my hosts for Werewolf. They're inside the Werewolf cluster. They're generated automatically, but outside of here. On other servers, I don't do that. So let's just go back into Hostbox. Go into Etsy hosts. We'll just manually do it for now because this doesn't change often. And then I should be able to. We'll just run that again. All right, somebody try it again if you guys don't mind. No, actually, Gen X, I'm perfectly okay with removing it. If somebody kills the box, it won't actually affect anything. Ah, see, okay, here's the other problem. It did go to 16. It did try to work. Did I echo out what it was going to be? Hold on, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's my own fault. All right. I got some problems in my stuff. And then there's my Rocky password. Okay, so that's the other thing I have to do. So we have to cd root.sh. Don't really have cd there, but it's the cluster key. This is the key that we're going to need. So then we're going to go cp cluster key over to hostbox. Oops. Root.sh. That'll do. That'll do. Hostbox. And then when I do my in here, why is my entry that awk? It's weird that it's giving me that error. Oh God, man, you guys gotta stop me. You guys gotta stop me, man. I need somebody to like babysit me when I'm doing dumb shit. All right, that should prop up. That should come up. The answer here when we SSH will be the identity file of cluster key. All right, there we go. That should work a little better. All right, somebody want to try? I apologize for making you guys do this so much, but somebody try that again if you would. Yeah, I run werewolf all over the place. Yeah. So you murder the node and it doesn't matter. Like if you kill the node, it doesn't matter. Because it'll go down. My nodes go down and come back up in my cluster. There's another problem. All right. Identity file, cluster key, no such file or directory. All right. Rocky 15. All right. So let's just take something real quick here. SSH to Rocky 15. Yes. I shouldn't need a password. -I. Let's give it the full path. All right, that worked. All right, so just real quick for fun, we'll hit the ones that it could do. 17. 18. This isn't the optimal way to do this, but I'm fine with it. And then 19. Okay. And once more again into the breach if anybody wants to throw it. Yeah, D-Roten, I'm doing pretty good. We're just kind of hanging out. Oh, I got to give the full path. But here was cat etsy pass WD, and then it would have went to 15. All right, let me fix. I wrote it and then I didn't fix it. I'm dumb sometimes. You guys will find that I do all kinds of weird stuff that doesn't work right, but then sometimes it does. We'll go right here, DW, end of the word. Right click, drop that cluster key in. Let's fix our syntax here a little bit. And then now, all right, one more try if somebody doesn't mind. Obviously there's reboot, obviously there's all kinds of destructive things you guys can do, but these nodes are they're stateless nodes, so if you kill them, they go down and come back up. That's half the fun of this, right? So somebody went to Rocky 15, and it looks like it's giving us the OS name release of Rocky. So it looks like somebody said, let's see, 15, unable to find a match for that. So it looks like it failed to find that. And then somebody else somebody tried to install Vim Knox, which didn't get found. They couldn't find the argument for it. And then the other one, it looked like somebody did. Where'd the other one go? I might have to go. See, and that's the thing. That's one of my problems with, yeah, somebody did Etsy pass WD, so that went. So, and it looks like ping. Somebody tried to ping something. Oh, that is a limitation of Twitch and YouTube. Like, it doesn't come through. So, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. No, but I'm okay with you guys abusing this a little bit, because normally what I do, if any of you guys are sitting around going like, what would Scott use this for? What would we use this for as like a little community? Well, what I can do is I could take this, right? And I can move this up a little bit. And then what I can do, if I have this running like this, is I have like my Socratic Linux. So if you guys have ever been around for me doing like Socratic Linux, it looks like this. And the Socratic method is just a way to think through things for you guys, you know, like for, yeah. So let's say you've never done, not even if you've never done it. Let's say you've never done like a thought exercise of just working through something. So the Socratic method looks like this, and then we would have CPU topics first, right? And the first one, yeah, URLs won't come through on Twitch. And the first one is, can you list the number of CPUs? So my question here would be, can you guys list the number of CPUs? And this is going to run every 3 minutes. It's going to go to the next one. But if you guys were to do answers, and then you said answer LSCPU, then over here it should dump. Oh my God, you guys are putting calce on my system. You can go, yeah, you could wreck a box. Now I did set it so it only sit in there for 3 seconds. But if we need longer runs, we could do longer runs of things. I like that to bread. Also, I definitely appreciate anybody that hangs out. I appreciate the raids. I think Chris raided me the other day, and I was just kind of hanging out or whatever. And I think I got to the highest numbers I'd ever been on Twitch, because like normally I'm sitting like 30 to 50 people, and we're just hanging out. The whole reason I do any of this, in case you guys are wondering, is to tell you guys that there's a place to go hang out. There's like a Linux group. We're called the Professional Linux Users Group, and we try to get you guys in there. Everything we do in our Discord is free, and we try to teach you guys Linux. And when I say teach you guys Linux, I mean if we're all hobbyists and we want to go do this professionally. I've been doing Linux professionally for about 22 years, and I've been teaching it at the college level for 16. So these are all the different events we have, just all kinds of stuff going on. Zorgal, if you just showed up, you can do an answer. I'm gonna need to suppress some of this down, just because my ping, I don't want my ping to show me all that. So I'm gonna stop the run for a second. Let's go in here, and my ping, I'm gonna throw here. We're going to throw, what is it, 2 ampersand 1 dev null, something like that. I think that's right. 2 and 1 dev null, something like that. I always get these mixed up. I always got to go look them up. But now, if somebody would try to do a command again, I apologize. I missed one of your commands, D-Roten. It probably came through, but I had stopped my script for a second. But then over here we would see whoever was doing the answers. Looks like somebody gave an ls-la. Do you guys want me to also pop out the person's name? Do you guys want to see the person's name that did it? I mean, that would be fun. Here's another one that did host name. Interesting. But it should show you guys which box we're going to. Also, I think I need to... Obviously, there's some longer ones, but then over here on the right, we'd see what commands were happening. Here's our LSCPU. Why is there? Oh, probably because I have unescaped characters. So I am going to have to make this better. Tail-100 varlog messages. That one looks like it failed. So I might have to add some to this to make it a little more. Why am I? Hold on. Where's that? I need to find this. Well, oh, that's what I always get that mixed up, guys. I've been doing that my whole damn career, and I still can never remember this. I've been doing it my whole damn career. And then throw all that into dev null. There we go. All right. Sorry, you guys, you continue. But all the commands that were happening are popping up over here in our all our commands are still popping up over here in our Loki, and I'll have a track of it. Hayes, I apologize. I missed the command. Didn't go through, but you could do that again. You could echo random again and get 0 to what, 32.7 something. It's a nice little random that'll run. Let's go. I'm going to test over here. Answer ls-la. I just did that over on the YouTube side. So over on the YouTube side, it said ls-la, it went to 15, and then it did this. OpenSSL prime generate bits for. Yep, that one will be good. Unfortunately, it'll only run for 3 seconds because I did put a timeout. So that should probably, well, maybe it's, yeah. So it'll start to generate, but then it'll fail after, not fail, but it'll stop running after so long. And then, so for my guys that are doing the security engineering course and stuff, we were reading out of Loki last week. So I was showing them how to send logs, because logging is very important, guys, right? Well, logging is very important if you're gonna do security, right? Like logging of things, getting it off the server. That was our topic last week in our thing. But now here, route-n, yeah, so you can see my route. Oh. You guys know, like, what? So I run Ansible like all day. Like all I do at work all day is like I generate and run Ansible, right? Like that's been my career probably since about 2016 or so. Well, maybe like 2018. I leaned into Ansible very heavily, and I moved away from like Bash and some of these other ones. Oh, SLs. You could install SL and then run SL. That would be kind of funny. But I don't have SL on those boxes by default. But if you guys don't know, anytime you mess up SL, it'll generate. So yeah, so here's the next one. Can you tell me the manufacturer of the chip? LSCPU can do that for you. CatProc CPU info can do that for you. But my goal with this, so like, just so you guys can pick up the big picture real quick, because I think most of you guys get that this is like fun and it gives us like some interaction. But what I really want to be able to do with the stream, because I've been streaming for a while and not super popular or anything, but one of the things I want to do is be able to run these when I'm not around. And then our stream answers, let's say your stream answers or you actually ask a question, what I can do is I can send that out to Discord, and then in our Discord that'll come to like probably like Twitch, YouTube questions, and then you guys can drop, what'll happen is you guys will be able to drop in the it'll automatically drop your questions over, and then I'm gonna have it like we'll probably make somebody turn it. Maybe we'll turn it into a thread with this. Anyways, but the point is, the people that come in and answer the questions from like our community, I'll have some kind of like bounty or something, because we have other bots that run in our Discord and do cool stuff and like welcome people and stuff. But then what would happen is I would like to be able to drop down in here, and then the people that maybe answer the most like questions from people over the month or something, we'll give them like a humble bundle or something, or something that they like. Maybe I'll even make it bigger. Maybe it'll be something like a certification voucher or something for like a, I don't know, Security Plus or Linux Plus or something. I don't know, something that people like. Not, you don't need these things, but it's kind of good. All right, so look, so now this one's trying to install SL. I wonder, so the thing is it'll do it on 18 because we're going between 15 and 19, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So your next execution might not be against the same server though. Does that make sense? But I can show you guys how I could add that to all the Rocky boxes if we wanted. That might be Linux's Roman. I wonder if, I actually do like when you do this. I do like when you do this because some of you guys know, especially like in kind of modern Linux, I used to always use backticks for this stuff. I'd always have backticks around my commands that I wanted to execute. But what would happen, guys, this is what would happen, is when you go to use Markdown, Markdown already uses backticks for something. Backticks are part of the Markdown language. So Miss Sapphire, SL, hold on, I'll show you because somebody made me install it the other day. LS is like this, but if you ever accidentally type SL, it does that on your screen. So if you're like hanging out with like a bunch of other engineers and you're typing fast and you accidentally type SL, it sends a steam locomotive across your screen. So it's like if you've ever made like little typing errors, it makes it a big typing error that everybody gets to laugh at for a while. Yeah. It's just a funny thing. It's not as funny when you're like sitting around by yourself doing stuff, but when you've got like 30 other engineers or you're like on a bridge call, like trying to troubleshoot some issue, and that shit comes across your screen, and all the Linux Unix guys know, but like some manager from some other team will be like, "What the fuck is that? We're trying to get this system going." They'll be all pissed and stuff, and you'll just be like, "Well, I mean." I didn't even realize that was on my jump box. Yeah. So the guys maybe put it on a while ago, but yeah, that's SL. So if you ever typing fast, it makes you slow down and look at the steam locomotive. So yeah, it's just a command, by the way. By the way, we're back over here. Linux is romanizing. So can you tell me the architecture of the chip? Most of you guys know that's like catproc CPU info would do that. And then you'd be able to find the architecture, or uname-m would also do this. So actually, if anybody wants to type in answer uname-m, it would show you the architecture of one of my boxes. You know what? I'm gonna change the script real quick. You guys can do it, but I'm gonna change the script real quick. I'm gonna say echo Rocky 19, just so you guys can see which one it's going to. And then just for fun, echo. The command is echo that, execute that. Let's sleep for 2 seconds just so we can see, and then we'll execute the command against the box. Does that sound fair? All right, because then people can see the command. Yeah, Kolkus. So I'm gonna draw out what we did here today, but this is like, yeah. So Kolkus, if you want to do an answer for the architecture of this chip, it'll pop up over here and it'll show you guys. And then the command is arch, and then I didn't even know. I don't even think I knew it was arch. Oh, it said. So that is one limitation of my thing, is it grabs the whole thing. But there. All right, I gotta clip that. Hold on, clipped. That was good. It's a grep. Admiral Akbar, right? It's a grep. That's pretty good. To Brad, you could do it again. I think I have a 1 second global cooldown and a 5 second user cooldown. But by the way, these can come from Twitch or YouTube, so you guys can do either side. So see how over here I'm doing to Bread, Twitch, and then echo that. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, my goal of this is like we have the Socratic, and by the way, if anybody's wondering like what's the Socratic method? The Socratic method is where you either by yourself or with a group or with a mentor of some type sit around and just ask questions and like say, well, why do you think that? It's very common like in law for people to do it. I've seen it in engineering a fair amount. Like I'm an engineer and I kind of use it. But it's not to necessarily like challenge you guys like, oh ho ho, I'm smarter than everybody. It's more to like challenge what there's my dog Ranger. We had a Ranger check, so there's Ranger dog. That's what Ranger's doing. That's what's hot in the streets right now for Ranger. It's going to be 90 something today in Phoenix. I think, did I see 98? Oh, it's just getting hot. It's getting terrible. All right, but anyways, we're back over here. Here's the does nobody wants to that's funny. What is that package? What was that package? AcUI. I really like that. That's funny. Hopefully my clip got that good. So Ranger's smart because you guys ever seen the meme where he's like, "Why do you go to work all day?" And then I have to look it up. But then the cat's like, "You don't have any money," or I don't remember. Anyways, the point is cats live better than us. Dogs too. Ranger dog for sure. Although he's getting up there. I've been giving him meds every day. Akis sweet grep on steroids. Nice. I like it. So the architecture of our chip, we had that. The next command is F2, Rocky 12. Failed to run. No such file or directory. And then I have timeout 3, so any command that was gonna take longer than 3 seconds won't run. So. And to bread, I don't have a good. I know for sure I don't have a good set of. Yeah. I don't have so many of the. I actually literally, if you guys want to see, this is the whole command right now. Right, so this is the whole thing we're doing now. So it is not robust in any way, except it just tries to drop the command. So we grab the end of this. So whatever you guys do after, so it's Hayes from Twitch, yum install, whatever Aki Akbar thing. That is what's grabbed and dropped in here. We echo the command out, and then we generate a random number between 15 and 19, because it should be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then it'll pick the server. It sleeps 2 seconds so we can see it, and then it'll pick the server that it's going to run on. So do you guys also want me to put like the user? I can also say what user said. Like I can say user said, and then the command if we wanted, and then it'll run. I think that would be fun. So yeah, this is our thing. Can you tell me if the system is physical or virtual? That's the next question. You want me to add the user? All right. So the user will look like this. Hold on. Don't answer that question yet. Oops. It's VI. It'll be right here. So I'm gonna go YYP, and then it'll be, let's say for user is gonna be print, and this will be print 1. And print NF could also have been print 3, but I just don't ever know how many fields I'm going to introduce later, so it'll always be the last one. And then echo user said or answered. The command is entry. User answered the command. Yeah. All right. So now, if any of you don't run it now, it'll give who the user was or what the user said as well. So, MMD over on YouTube. If you do !answer and you try to answer any of these questions over here, it'll pop up and it'll actually run on a real Linux box over here. So there, somebody answered. I can't even try to get that name. Echo host name, and it gave us the host name of the box that it was going to run on. User Miss Sapphire, XO, answered that the command is ls-lah, and it ran that. To bread said something, and yep, he's right. It's virtual. By the way, guys, I'm gonna move this up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull this down. We have these answers, right? We've done this a lot, right? Like we've done this as a group a lot. But if you guys were like, hey, Scott, that's a cool answer. I haven't seen that answer before. Like the architecture, and then this one. Here's the ones that I know that work on most systems for this one. Can you tell me if the system is physical or virtual? And then if you want to see the output, you could just drop it right here. I don't know. I thought this would be a fun little one. You guys are the root user, by the way. So if you were to do something to that box, like reboot it, that's fine. But then it just wouldn't come up the next time we generate it. It would just take a little while because the nodes will all heal themselves, but they take about 3 minutes to do so. So to bread, did that one? Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, look, I'm surprised that some of these are working, but you might grep flags and then look at the hypervisor. There you go. And then what I might do is I might come over here later and steal all your commands out, all your new commands over here, because this is going in my Loki forever, right? Ostensibly, that sits there forever. So you guys can. I said obsessively. I said ostensibly. I don't know how. I don't know. Okay. Whatever. This is fun. Oh, that's funny. Echo virtual to bread. I like it. T Crease, I don't care. I I actually, so here's the thing, Crease. You're right. Like, people could try to hack this stuff, but here's the thing. I already let people in the ProLug Labs as root. I tell people all the time, like, you guys are root, man. What's the fun in hacking a box where somebody gave you admin? I'd try to hack other boxes if it were me. Um, like, if I'm already being given root, that's like getting deputized and being a marshal. Like, what's the fun in crime after that? People are just gonna listen to you. So, anyways, my point is, like, we're the goal is to find people that are wanting to do this stuff, right? Like, and for that I have to have a little bit of exposure. But yeah, I do try to keep track of, I mean, you guys know I keep track of literally everything that comes into my home lab. Like, I have every bit of things happening. Now we've got tracking of the logs, and it's like, in my mind, since this is all coming through chat, that's easy to track who did what, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if people want access unfettered, like if you guys are part of our Discord, or you join the Discord, you can have unfettered access to our servers. Like, I give you guys full access. Like, we got the Hammer servers and the Rocky servers, and if you break them, it doesn't matter. I'll just rebuild them in Werewolf. I do it all the time, right? Like, we just um, yeah, Miss Sapphire, and again, that's the other reason we do this stuff, is we learn a lot, right? When we sit around and co-work and talk with other people and figure out what they're doing. MMD over on YouTube. Do I do networking stuff? Yeah, I've been teaching networking at the college level for almost 17 years. So yeah, I got my CCNA back in 2002. I've been a network engineer, network administrator. I've done all that stuff in my career. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really focus on that anymore. I still have to do that some as a high performance compute engineer, but I do mostly Linux. Like 99% of my day is Linux, and I touch networking only when I have to, and then I touch security. Well, security's like built into doing like Linux stuff. So, did you do one that was too long? Oh, was it too long on the actual? So Twitch and YouTube are also kind of protecting me a little bit as well. Yeah, MMD, by the way, if you do join our Discord, right, we have sections up here like for networking people that want to focus on networking. And sometimes I'll go in there and I'll ask questions or answer questions about things. And then people work on just networking stuff. I used to ask questions from the Red Book from IBM, which, if you guys have never seen this, I'll show you. This is one of my favorite things to show like newer engineers, because it's free and it's from 2006, but the networking portions of this are still such a good like book. This is still like so good. Kuji, I'd be interested to see if it would work if you did it just a little bit smaller, whatever it was. So you guys could throw any of these in and get the answer for this. Now we go next is memory topics. So can you tell me how much RAM we have on these boxes? These boxes are a little bit smaller, but can you tell me the amount of RAM on them? I think that's probably enough right there. By the way, all the Socratic Linux answers that I've ever done are up in the Discord as well. So, yeah, that Red Book, I think up to about page 100 and I think it's 178 or something, is really useful for sysadmins. And then it goes in and it digs into like routing and routed protocols. And look, I'll be honest, like if I'm doing the Linux side of things, I am much less interested in the metrics that the servers are passing and the determination, like if the server is doing a like I do not care if when a packet leaves my system and goes to the default gateway, whether or not OSPF or RIP version 2 is being used. I don't care, as long as my stuff works, right? Does that kind of make sense? So if I have to dig in on that, I have to go switch over to networking mode and then look at like, well, okay, are we using a distance vector or a link state routing protocol? What are the implications of that? Oh, are we running out of memory? Which, by the way, running out of memory on switches hasn't been a problem for like 15 years. But when I first started in it, it was. So there's that. 99 MRX. Hey, are you using Arch Linux? No, I don't use Arch Linux. No. I run a tool in the home lab. I can kind of list my Linux, I guess, if you guys want. I run CentOS 7, which I really need to get off of. I run Rocky 9, which I heavily use on probably about 55, 60 nodes, somewhere in there. I have probably about 5 Ubuntu machines doing some Ubuntu things. And then I have a spattering of like Slez and Kali running around. So, yeah, I got, guys, I tell you all the time, I've got nothing against, I have literally nothing against you guys using Arch. I think Arch is a great tool. I tell people when you're ready to start doing like systems engineering and systems administration for a company, you probably have to move over towards something more along the line of like RHEL or some of these other ones or whatever. Oh, that's funny. It messed up the lines. Boganex. You see that? It messed up the lines. That would have been, were those bunnies? Oh, you guys want to see some messy ones? One of my favorite things to show you guys, if you guys like ASCII type stuff, right? If you guys are ASCII art or you know whatever, however you want to say that, this is one of the best things on the web right here. This guy wrote just a fun, like, I'm gonna link this to both of you guys on both sides. And like, let's say I did troubleshoot and I said test all, and I just want to see all the ways that ASCII art could do troubleshoot. There's like hundreds of these. But then like maybe I know I like Ogre. Like I kind of like Ogre. So then I just want to see the Ogre one. I can go, you know, Ogre. And then I kind of like that because it's kind of small and clean. But then there's modular. That's a little bigger, but I wanted my terminal width to not have to be so wide to see it. But these are the ones that I actually use in the lab. If we we use some of these. This one was I don't think that one was exactly that, but that's that. To bread said some kind of grep. It looks like it didn't capture everything in your grep. To bread, and it's possible. I'm just thinking because there's special characters you could add that would mess this up, like a colon would definitely mess it up. Jen, are you using graffiti with the word ranger? That's awesome. I love Ranger Dog. And with the wife out of town, it's just me and Ranger. Like it's just like bachelor pad here. So it's just like me and Ranger chilling. So I went down earlier. I gave him some food. I gave him some meds. I made sure his water was topped off because he's been drinking a lot more water as he's gotten older. So yeah, guys, there's just so much stuff for you to play with in here. And down here, by the way, you can see your commands coming through. And the top is the most recent. I have it set in reverse order. So Snaffle, Bastel, Jessling, or whatever. I remember that reminds me of Smartle Blartfast, which was a character from who remembers Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? Smart old Blart. We get kicked off of Twitch because my CC doesn't know what the fuck's going on. That was pretty funny. All right. I think his name was like Smartle Bartflast or something, but it's apparently that's what it thinks I'm saying. He's a character from Douglas Adams wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was a fantastic book. If you guys, fantastic set of 5 books, in fact, but you can buy it as one big book now and just read it all together. And then I found something out a few years ago about that guy that I didn't know. I was always a fan of his. I always thought his stuff was great. I did not know he wrote for the original Doctor Who. Did you guys know that? Like the original like BBC Doctor Who from back in the day? Douglas Adams wrote for that. And I just thought that was cool because like I just thought he was like a really witty, funny guy, and I didn't know any of his history. But then you go look it up, and you're like, oh yeah, he's got writing credits on there as kind of a witty, smart guy. So yeah. So how much free RAM do we have? How much free RAM we have? Free-M H-top. If I have H-top, I don't know if I have H-top on these boxes, but yeah. To Brett, it looks like it's just failing all over on your on your stuff. It's probably because it's definitely going to be because of the double quotes. I'm just dropping it in with double quotes, so it wouldn't be able to. here's the thing. For some of these, I might have to give a little bit longer timeout. So, Quijibo, there's see that, and then there's a timeout. Like it timed out while it was doing that. So, let me. I'm gonna stop the script real quick. I gave a timeout as we went in of 3 seconds. I can give. Let's make it 5. R5. Whoops. Oh. And then, what the hell? We're undoing everything. There we go. We'll just make it 5 seconds. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening to my screen there. And then, Jestling, it's putting the asterisks through from Twitch, so Twitch and YouTube will filter things down. I think YouTube might even let you guys do links. I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to do it in either the same command, or you'd have to land the same roll the next time. Yeah, it's basically a 5-sided dice roll that we generated there. So we did. So yeah, we did random 4. So it'll generate either 0, 1, 2, 3. Is that right? 0, 1, 2, 3? Yeah. Maybe I need to make that 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it would be 15. Would be 0 all the way up through 4. Yeah, I think I need to change that to 5. Because the random starts at 0. So then when you do 4, normally people do a +1, so then it counts positive integers. But I'm not trying to count positive integers. I'm trying to count from 15 up. So it's 0 through, I think that's stopping 1 before. So I think it's only doing up to 18. We're not actually hitting Rocky 19 as well. Yeah. Fair enough. Makes sense, right? So can you tell me how much swap space do we have? And should we really be using swap space or not? That'll be a fun one. But by the way, what I'm showing here, I wanted to build this anyways so that we had a way of kind of looking at this with everybody. And then the other thing I wanted to do with this is I was going to show this to the group on Saturday as just like another way to have interactions with people, another way to kind of hang out. Like I'm co-working in another screen and doing other stuff, but you guys could still be down here answering questions and amusing yourselves with this, doing kind of whatever you guys want. Did we get another ranger check or just the one? Let's go check ranger again. There's ranger dog. He's a good dog. We like ranger dog. We don't have B-top. I'd have to show you guys if you wanted to see how we modify the containers. But there's a little bit of werewolf stuff that has to happen to modify a container. I do like B-top, though. I think the first time I ever saw B-top from somebody was Jeff Geerling was using it. And Jeff Geerling, I followed him because of Ansible. He was huge in Ansible. But then we met up at Ansible Fest. He's real big into Raspberry Pis. I used to do a lot with Raspberry Pis as well. And then I've watched some of his stuff where he's just working and showing B-top and stuff. And there's some pretty cool kind of clean stuff you can see out of that. Guys over on the YouTube side, you guys can do answer commands if you want to answer any of these. Answer, so it's ! answer, and then whatever command you think it is, and it'll drop it in the server and show you guys up here what the answer is. Can you trigger an install on the other nodes when a yum command is run? Not with this little one, but I could probably. Oh, I like that. I rolled the dice. It's funny. I could probably do. Yeah. So I have an outside control of this, right? I have obviously from the werewolf side, and then I have Ansible running, and I use Ansible rather. It's not really running, and I could push whatever we needed to stuff. So if you just kind of wanted to see it, to Brett, I really like how you're managing to get the stuff to push through. I do like that, and I do like that it rolled an actual Dice. Although, is that a generated, like, I don't know if somebody minds doing that one again, but will that actually show if it's like a one or two? I can't see anything in there. It just looks like dark to me. But is there different ones that can come out of that? That would be really cool. Mile. So my answer to learning. So there was a question over on the Twitch. Oh, by the way, um, does Ask work? Hold on, let me see. I just want to see if I have. That's my Stig stuff. Hold on, let's go look at Ask. I want to see if Ask. That one's not. That one's not up. By the way, here's all the different commands we have. I need to make a new Ask one because then it'll show the questions on both sides. But yeah, so let me show you guys real quick. My answer to, if you want to get into Ansible, right? Like, let's say you want to touch Ansible and learn it kind of well. My answer would be go to Killer Coda. And Killer Coda is like one of the best free sites on the web. There's this guy, Scott, and he'll teach you Ansible. Scott is me. And I'll drop this here for you guys. But my main answer would be learning Ansible for me, learning any automation tool, because automation is kind of like a mindset, but that's a cheap cop out. If I was like, you're asking me, hey Scott, I want to learn the tool, and I say yes, okay. The first part of learning a tool, I think, is installing it. So here's an install lab. So it'll drop you in and it'll make you install Ansible right here, right? So you'll install it, right? And then you'll be like, okay, I understand that I've got the tool. How do I use the tool, right? Because like that's the next thing for me is like I can install a tool, that's cool, but now I need to make the tool work. So in a automation sense, from my standpoint, I'm a platform engineer, high performance compute guy. I need to be able to set up Ansible host file and test connectivity. So I need to be able to tell what my inventories are. So this kind of gets you into using inventories. You've got two nodes, control plane and node 01 in these clusters, and all that stuff is there. You're trying to ping goggle. That's funny. And then over here, then we start just using it. We just start doing like one-off ad hoc commands, which are just commands at the command line to like shell and set up and push stuff around the network. Then we copy and change some stuff around the network and just one-off the system and just see how Ansible works. Like, oh, I can pick it up and I can make it execute this thing, but these are not super useful for like doing 10,000 deployments of a system. Then we start to build playbooks, right? And playbooks are like push a tar.gz file over and unpackage it on all the nodes. And then make it deploy an application. And it's a fake application that we write, but I want to see it happen. And even though I don't like emphasize it in this lab, one of the things I show you how to do is to read a variable. I don't ever call it out. I just you just are doing it and you're like, oh, I'm reading a variable, right? Then you come down here and I start to show you how to set variables with Jinja templates and deploy them, and then to pull a report back of all your nodes. And this is like one of the most important things I've ever learned. Like I use this literally all over the place to like report stuff back to myself on a run. Like I do a run over my fleet of 10,000 servers, and then I stand there on the bridge like some fucking captain or admiral in like the fleet, and somebody runs a report back to me of all the stuff that happened. That's what this kind of feels like. Like you're looking out over all your servers and you get a report. Then there's like one-off stuff you can do in Ansible, like call an API and get some information from it. And once you can do that, I really think that's where like you open up to interact with all kinds of other things once you understand basic API stuff. And then there's like hiding your variables in a vault. There's pushing a message of the day to all your servers. So anyways, my point is like, then I just make you just do a bunch of stuff in Ansible. So again, learning any automation tool is like getting the tool there, getting it to work with the nodes or the inventory you have, and then looking at the pieces of it. That's my thoughts on it. So yeah, these are my labs. They are supported by myself and the Professional Linux Users Group. I wrote most all of them, and then actually I wrote all the Ansible labs, and then the guys have come along and helped me with them and made things better and all that kind of stuff since then. So, by the way, guys, you can see all the all the attempts over here to drop all these things in. Like and I like that you guys can construct full commands out of this if you want. And then it looks like Tabred is trying to ping some number, right, and trying to see if he can ping through. And I don't know why that one didn't come through to Bread. I don't see your ping. Oh, I see you going to Rocky 17. And then I see ping 8, service not known. Huh. Did we break this? Oh, no, there's your ping. All right. So there's you trying to ping. All right. Stuff's working. So I like that we have this. Yeah, Zorgal, you should be able to... Oh, no, you got to do answer first, Zorgal. Do exclamation mark answer, and then your command just by itself. And it'll go dump your command in there, if it can. And then it'll put it over here forever. Can you show all of the use space on the /root partition of a system? Do you guys know how to do that? File system topics, yep. Uh-oh. This thing failed on... Answer the command. See, this shows you some of the limitations of like the way I have it. But at least we can see where my thing failed. And then Bogan X, we're still getting... That'll always happen, I think. But you know what? I think... Well, I was going to say, I think you could echo a file in... I'm interested in this one now. Why did this one fail? I wonder if it's because these dashes are weird coming in from... No, that shouldn't matter. Let's see. Hold on. Let's go. I'm going to go jump right into one of those nodes real quick. That's firewall-cmd get active... it should be active zones. Yeah, because I don't think get active services is a real command. Look, and then now it's going to sit here for... But that failed out after 5 seconds, so it's just sitting there waiting. And by the way, even if you guys did modify to... Or even if you did manage to like put an ampersand to make that run in the background, once we reboot the node, it'll just be clean again. So... Mile, you said, is there any certifications for Ansible? Yeah, Red Hat has one, but you have to take their RHCSA and their RHCE first. So I don't know. I mean, if you wanted that, you could. I'm not so concerned with like being married directly to Red Hat, even though I do a lot of Red Hat. I'd probably do more Rocky nowadays than anything. It is funny that oh, somebody did Y. You guys know that Y will just populate your screen with Ys, so that's funny. But it will eventually time out. That command will eventually time out after so many seconds. I think it's 5 seconds I have right now. So that probably would have generated like... Yum update. Or yum-y update will do it too. You can skip. But if you guys have ever used Yes, it'll just generate Ys to the screen to do what we used to call a poor man's. Oh, that's interesting. Is that going to hold? No, that should fail eventually. I'm a little curious. So if... Well, that's pretty good. That's the first time we found a break here. Hold on. I gotta... Alright. We found a break. So what's happening is here on the SSH, there's a timeout inside of it. So I'm gonna have to put a timeout out here too. Oh jeez. What the hell just happened? Alright, hold on. -I timeout. We'll do 5 out here as well. So it'll be 5 seconds hard no matter what. All right, go ahead. Try it again. Hold Control-C did not break out of there. I had to do Control-Z to get out of there that time. So it almost did it all on one line. So it'll drop the Ys, but after 5 seconds, because now I have a hard timeout before the SSH as well. So that'll only work until the SSH breaks. Yeah, there you go. See, so it killed. And then there's, I think Zorgel had one, get services. There's all the services for Firewall D. And and then we lost the timeout because even though there's that timeout, we came in after this. So that's fun. I mean, look, there's a lot of awesome little things that we can do with this, but I think, as we do it, you guys could come in here and have some good little interactions with that environment. And then I'll just reboot all that environment when we're done, right? Panda's yes. Pipe it to Yum update. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then you guys see all the commands are going over on the right in our Loki. And so that's writing out so that we have a copy of it. Or, we could just query it later, or we could look up whatever is going on. It did eventually die. I would do just yum-y update if I wanted to update. Yes is like the old way. And also, we're on, with Rocky 9, they're still aliasing Yum back, but DNF is the best way going forward. So Yum will probably not be there in 10. There you go. I like it. du-sh path working directory. Yep. Fun fact, when we talk about, I use dot a lot as well. But did you guys know that if on certain commands, when you use whatever the default argument for many things is the directory you're in anyways. So this is a good argument. The dot is a good argument. And arguments just mean how you make the command, like where you point the command at, if you want to think of it like that. So. Can you make another book with all this stuff? Nothing but gems. Yeah, easy money. I have so I have to update. We have the Lean Pub book, right? Like I think if I do book, it'll give you guys over on the Twitch side. I did it. There's a book. Some of you guys already have the book, so but on Lean Pub there's a book, and that one does have all of the like lab interaction stuff. Right? And I tell people, you don't ever have to buy that book if you don't want. You could just go do all the labs for free. That book is kind of more like a journal and like ways to think through some of the different stuff that's going on. By the way, there you go. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool where you cat out etcfs tab. Our etcfs tabs are generated by Werewolf because we're using clustered nodes, right? These are Rocky 9 boxes that I built inside of Werewolf. And we do have more Werewolf stuff that we need to do in the future. Oh, you got the 8. Now you just got to ping it. My boxes can ping out to Google, so they should be able to ping out to Google. That's also just Google's. You could dig. You should be able to dig that. There you go. Boom, ping. You should be able to NS lookup and host and also dig Google from that with, that's actually if you guys did etsyresolve.conf, if you catted that out, you would see that as well, that's the one. Gen X, you could fork bomb. What'll happen? Well, there's a few things that'll happen. These boxes run in initramfs, and I have them over allocated to have 8 gigs of disk space for root. But they only have 4 gigs of RAM. I think they're 4 gigs. I think they're 4 gigs. But anyways, if you do a huge write to the disk, these boxes just fall over. So there's a lot of ways to push these boxes over in my environment, like if you sit around and play with them. But see, I also give you guys, so this is one way in. I'm showing you guys this is a way for when we're doing this. Can you show all the processes of the directory you're using? That's a good one. You might know how to do that. It's an ls command, right? But yeah, if you push one of the boxes over, then it'll just reboot, and then it'll be back up in a little bit. Use Podman instead of Docker. Use Podman. We have Podman. We have the Podman tool, but nothing's running. And then in the next few weeks, we're going to be using K3s on those boxes I make the guys do some Kubernetes, but we just use a lightweight K3s instance of it. So yeah, it works pretty good. Answer env should dump the environment for you. Yep. Over here you just see the env. You just see over here on the right, you guys are just seeing the commands, and then on the left you can see whatever is happening. For I am proc, do read link I equals that, and yeah, probably reading in DNF install cockpit and dash lowercase y. You want a lowercase y for that. Yeah, you guys can install, do whatever you want. These boxes will just wipe. It's like we basically just spray out the room and and everything's clean. It's just like a tile room. Have you ever seen those rooms? You guys ever seen that stuff online where they like show you how to they show you how to like troubleshoot not troubleshoot, but they show you how to like wash a rug or clean a rug, and then it's like those little time waster videos. Well, what'll happen is Figlet command not found. Oh yeah. What'll happen with that is that's what it's like with these systems. When we're done, we just spray it out, and the whole room's basically clean, white tile all over again. And I just realized I have a meeting at 11, so I got a little bit of time. We'll have to drop off here, but I'll hop back on a little later, and we'll clean these up and keep playing with these. But yeah, I hope this stuff is low. Is lolcat I would do that command, but I would say DNF what provides lolcat, and then that would probably show you guys. Answer screen fetch. I know we have screen, but I don't know if we have screen on that. Yeah, I don't have screen on those boxes. I have screen on these ones. Zorgal, we're gonna do interviews tonight. Yep. I gotta think of some of those questions here. I want to add more questions. I don't want it just to be the static ones we've already done. Those ones will still pop up though, because they're still good questions. No neofetch. Yeah, I keep these boxes. I wouldn't say lean, but they're pretty lightweight as far as what they have. We've put neofetch on them before though. Yeah. Bogan, this is one of my I keep calling you Bogan, but it occurs to me that you're probably Gen X. Yeah, you guys got to remember, I'm very special. My brain does not parse things correctly, and I have terrible eyesight, so I need to read my chat in a wider thing anyways, but you've been Bogan here so long, I guess you get to stay Bogan, but but I just realized that's probably Gen X is what you're saying there. Jeez. God. People have probably been like, who the hell is this guy talking to this whole time? Oh my gosh. Just not late for dinner. Fair enough. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We got enough people on the Twitch side. We'll go raid somebody. But yeah, if you guys like this stuff, anytime you find something like this, that I think this is a fun way to do these. And I can just keep making questions on the right. And you guys can keep just dropping stuff in and seeing what happens to the servers, see what kind of connections you can get. But we can keep working on these in the future, and I think that this will be a fun way to kind of co-work while I work on other stuff. And let's go find somebody to raid. And I only have to do that because I got to hop in a meeting for work, but then I'll come back on a little later. So let's find who are we raiding? We'll raid over to somebody that we're following. We'll go over to Oh Bother looks like he's doing some fun stuff. We'll hit up Oh Bother because I like going to his stuff, and I like his electronic stuff that he does. So if you guys want, our raid message tends to be do all the Linux or our Linux rage emotes if you have any of those. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming by, and I will see most of you either later tonight or down in the Discord as we work on different stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming by. Take care.